My name is Allie Futty. I'm a teacher of the visually impaired, a certified orientation and mobility specialist, and a certified assistive technology instructional specialist for people with visual impairments. I am currently the program manager for the Northeast Resource Center for Vision Education at UMass Boston. And today I want to talk a little bit about assistive technology and CVI and what I think you might need to know about that topic.
Part 1. What is assistive technology, or AT?
I just want to talk about what is assistive technology. IDEA defines assistive technology as any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified, or customized, is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of children with disabilities. So that's a pretty wordy definition. IDEA is the Individual with Disabilities in Education Act. That's the primary special education law and guidance that we receive from the federal government about how to handle students with disabilities of public education. I have, I think, a little bit simpler of a definition, which is essentially any tool that reduces or eliminates a barrier for a student. I just want to give this little example. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek question, but which one of these is assistive technology? And I think it's important to point this out, and the answer is kind of a trick one, which is they're both assistive technology. And sometimes people assume that only the high-tech, expensive things are assistive technology. You know, on the left, we have an image of a high-tech communication device, and on the right, just a really simple plastic straw you could pick up anywhere. But for somebody, let's say, who has upper limb mobility issues, who struggles to pick up a glass and drink out of it, a plastic straw is just as much of a piece of assistive technology for that person as somebody who might need a communication device to help support communication. I just want to talk a little bit about what the law, which we talked about, IDEA, has to say about assistive technology in particular, because I think having some clarity on this helps set the tone for what the IEP team should or shouldn't be doing when it comes to assistive technology. So the Individualized Education Plan, or IEP team, is required to consider assistive technology for every student on an IEP. So IEP teams shouldn't be picking and choosing who they're considering assistive technology for based on disability. If a child is on an IEP, then the IEP team is required by law to consider the need for assistive technology for that student. This includes tools that are needed within special education and related services. So think orientation mobility. That's a big related service that we often deal with in the vision area, as well as in the general education classroom and extracurricular activities. On a case-by-case basis, schools must consider the needs of a student to have assistive technology in their home or other setting if it's necessary for that student to have a free and appropriate public education. And I just, put this little sentence down here. We just won't have the student do homework is not an answer. And that's something that I've heard before as a teacher visually impaired out in the field. That kind of comment of, well, how are they going to do their work at home if they're not allowed to take their assistive technology home? Well, we just won't have them do homework. Then we're not providing them a free and appropriate public education. If the school team has determined that homework is an appropriate part of that child's educational programming based on their unique circumstances, and the only reason that the child isn't doing that is because they don't have access to their technology, is against the law. The Individuals with Disability Education Act, or IDEA, provides the primary guidance for assistive technology in the schools. The definition of AT is left specifically broad to allow discretion to the IEP team. So the IEP team has lots of discretion in the area of assistive technology. The only devices or tools that are specifically excluded under the law are surgically implanted ones. So for example, schools are not required by law to provide things like cochlear implants to students. It's really important, and this is the message I try and drill home to everybody if I can. IEP teams can get caught up in what I call the device talk. However, IDEA clarifies that assistive technology services are central to the IEP assistive technology discussion. So it's really important that when an IEP team comes together to discuss assistive technology, that we don't immediately rush to the conversation of, well, what specific device does this kid need? There's a lot that goes into assistive technology, which we'll discuss. So what is an AT service, right? You know what a device is. It's the piece of technology or the item that the kid is actually going to use in the classroom. But what is the service? So services under the law are evaluation of the needs of the child in their customary environment. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but I put it in caps, so hopefully it'll sink in there. Acquiring the AT solution, selecting, designing, fitting, customizing, adapting, applying, retaining, repairing, or replacing the AT device, training and technical service to the child's family, and the educational team. So all of those things are within IDEA as an AT service, and so all of those things can go into a child's IEP.
Find other videos in this series on assistive technology and CVI, and learn more about CVI at cvinow.org.